In May 1982, the actions taken by Britain's Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, at a cabinet meeting held at 10 Downing Street, made newspaper headlines around the world. For her, it was perhaps the most worrying day she experienced in the course of her career. When the meeting ended, the Prime Minister was driven from Downing Street to a private function, which several months earlier she had promised to attend. What happened then was recalled in the autobiography of a film producer who was invited to attend and record the events that took place that day. The film he produced has recently been digitally restored, and this is what it looked like.
Prime Minister, Mr. Thatcher, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayoress, ladies and gentlemen. We're delighted to welcome you again today to open the second phase of our development, particularly at this time when the demands of your office must be greater than those imposed on any post-war Prime Minister. It's fantastic that you managed to spare the time to be with us today. I would like to welcome all of you who have come to support us and join in our celebrations today. Prime Minister, can I formally invite you to perform the opening ceremony?
Mr. Gerson, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, we meet to celebrate the 21st anniversary of this company, which is a tremendous success story due to the exertions of its people, and in particular to your vitality and flair, Mr. Gerson. But as you have just indicated, and I know you will understand, that my first thoughts, indeed, I think all our first thoughts, almost all our waking thoughts, are really 8,000 miles away with our men in the task force who went to restore freedom and justice to the people of the Falkland Islands. Their purpose is a great ideal, and their courage and their skill has brought a new pride to our country and made us realize once again that we're all really one family. For us, geographically distant though they may be, they are but a heartbeat away, and we wish them Godspeed in their endeavors. At home, as you said, Mr. Gerson, life continues with its commercial and industrial problems, and how I wish that everyone would tackle them as vigorously as this firm. You, Mr. Gerson, have never used economic difficulties as an excuse, but always as a challenge and an opportunity. Your flair and initiative, coupled with the cooperation and enthusiasm of all who work here, have made this firm a very great success story indeed. We are seeing the latest phase of your expansion, another new warehouse, fittingly in your 21st birthday year. I note your bankers have been good to you. I expect they think they've made a very sound investment, and I'm sure your customers will be on the telephone to you Monday morning. We would like to share in your success. We congratulate you very much upon it. We hope, not only for your
1, 2, 3,
own
4,
sake,
5,
but for our
Margaret Thatcher.
country's sake, that your achievements will continue to mount, that they will bring
In May
happiness to your
1982,
family,
the actions taken
to
by
all
Britain's
those
Prime
who
Minister,
work in this
Margaret
great
Thatcher,
enterprise,
at a
and
cabinet meeting held
satisfaction
here at
to
10
your
Downing Street,
customers.
made
In that
newspaper
spirit,
headlines around the
may
world.
I open formally
For her,
this
it was
new
perhaps the most
expansion. I hope
worrying
I'll be
day
here for the
she
third one
experienced.
too. We'll make a
In
date
May
for it.
1982, the actions taken by Britain's Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, at a cabinet meeting held at 10 Downing Street, made newspaper headlines around the world. For her, it was perhaps the most worrying day she experienced in the course of her career. When the meeting ended, the Prime Minister was driven from Downing Street to a private function, which several months earlier she had promised to attend. The events of that day were recalled in the The events of that day were recalled in the autobiography of the film producer who was invited to attend and recorded the events.
We can use it for the next warehouse.
What happened then was recorded in the autobiography of a film producer who was invited to attend and record the events that took place that day. The film he produced was recently being digitally restored, and this
Mr. Dennis Thatcher, who before his wife became Prime Minister himself
In
ran a
May
very successful business,
1982,
clearly
the
enjoyed
action
helping
taken
to
by
open over
Britain's Prime Minister,
20,000 square foot
Margaret Thatcher,
of new warehouse
at a cabinet
premises.
meeting held at 10 Downing Street, made newspaper
While
headlines
guests moved
around
into the
the
new
world.
warehouse, where tables had been prepared for luncheon,
For her,
the Prime
it was
Minister
perhaps the
met
most
some of the
worrying
people who
day she
represent Michael
experienced
Gesson
in the course of her
overseas.
career.
In 21 years, the company has
When
built up
that
a
meeting
worldwide
ended,
network
the
of
Prime
people
Minister was
who
driven
share
from
its
Downing
interest
Street
in providing
to a
a
private
high
function,
standard of personal
which
service.
several months earlier she had promised to attend.
While others prepared for lunch, Mrs. Thatcher toured the warehouse she'd opened in
The
1978.
events. What happened then
For a Prime
was
Minister
recalled
in the middle of
autobiography
a
of
major
film producer
international
who
crisis
was
to carry out any engagement away from
What
Downing
happened
Street
then
must surely
was recalled-
require considerable confidence in
What
the
happened then
decisions which have
was
been made
recalled in the
and a real
autobiography of a
desire to
film
go ahead
producer
with
who
arrangements
was
which
invited
could
to
quite
attend.
easily have been cancelled.
He
But throughout her
recorded
visit,
what-
Mrs. Thatcher made it clear that she didn't regard her tour as a whistle-stop engagement.
What happened then? What happened then was recalled in the autobiography
While
of a
others
film
studied
producer
photographs
who
of
was
the
invited
company's
to attend
21 years
and
of
record
achievements
the
and
events
successes,
that took place
the
that
Prime
day.
Minister made it clear that she was
The film he
interested in
made
what the company is
has
doing
recently
now
been digitally
and in its
restored.
plans for the future.
And this is what it showed.
That's Melbourne. And if we take a look at Melbourne,
6 years after the Falklands Islands,
Mr. Roberts got 21 pieces.
6 years after the events you've seen took place,
Three.
Mrs. Thatcher kept her promise and
In
attended another
1956,
private
Michael
event
Gerson
sponsored by
moved
the same
500
company.
people. By
This time
1981,
it was on
the
a
number
wet
of
day
shipments had
in
increased to
Daventry.
6,000. With the new
In a
warehouse
speech she
now
made on
open,
this
that
occasion,
figure too
she
will
recalled
soon
her
be
thoughts and
surpassed.
feeling.
The
In
Prime
a
Minister
speech she made
studied
on this
everything,
occasion,
from the
she
closed-circuit
recalled the
television
thoughts.
system which safeguards warehouse
In a
security
speech she made on
to
this
the special
occasion, she
containers and
recalled her
packaging
thoughts
materials
and feelings
Michael Gerson
on that
used to
momentous
protect
day
customers'
6 years
possessions.
before. The same film producer was again invited
After
to record the
visiting
event,
every part of the
and
premises,
the film he
Mrs.
made
Thatcher
has
moved
now
into the
been
new
digitally
warehouse
restored.
for lunch and to enjoy the rest of the proceedings.
In May 1982, the action taken by Britain's Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, at a cabinet meeting held at 10 Downing Street, made newspaper headlines around the world. For her, it was perhaps the most worrying day she experienced in the course of her career. For her, it was perhaps the most worrying day she experienced in the course of her career. When the meeting ended, the Prime Minister was given one Downing Street to a private function, which he promised several months ago. When the meeting ended, the Prime Minister was given from Downing Street to a private function, which several months earlier he had promised to the Cabinet. What happened then? As the Ford and the Portugal told the film producer, he was invited by a court to attend this place. When he made, the person who had been physically killed. This was a the events of that day were recorded in the autobiography. The events of that day were recorded in the autobiography of the film producer who was invited to a court at this place. What took place then was recorded in the autobiography of the film producer who was invited to a court at this place. When he produced, has recently been restored, and this is what it says. 6 years after the events you've seen took place, Mrs. Thatcher kept the promise she had made, and attended another private event sponsored by the same company. This time it was on a wet day in Devonshire.
Thank you very much.
In a speech to Mary on this occasion, she recalled her thoughts and the feelings on that momentous day 6 years before.
Thank you
The
very much.
producer was again invited to record
Good luck
what
to you.
happened.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The film producer
Thank you
was again
very much.
invited to record
Many
the event.
congratulations, Mr.
And that
President.
film
Thank you
has
very
now
much.
been digitally received.
Thank you.
The film producer was again invited to record the event. And that film has now been digitally restored.